The meadow. The meadow is always at war. There are vines that seem to get all the action. They envelop, choke, and elbow their way to the top, so most overgrown yards look ghastly. But then there are places like Bluebonnet Fields in West Texas where the wild declares its defiant beauty. Can we really trust you to throw the seeds where they belong? Is it part of the curse of Adam that we demanded that right from you, and you said, by the sweat of your brow? What if we did just eat berries and nuts and whatever leaves didn't taste of poison? What if we had never decided clothes were necessary? Would we be more free? Would we have made better poetry? Was it necessary for us to wreck our world in order to have a tragedy worthy of an existential crisis? What about the songs of those who never made themselves slaves to any market? Their sikus still echo in Cusco. Their taitas still teach whoever will listen. Is it too late to heal our world? Have we crossed the red line so that doom is only a matter of time? Does the world have a mother, and can she save us? I saw a nation of gardeners who had just discovered their life's work, and they went to hack away at the rug of weeds that had always been the expectation for how they could love their neighbors. How did we ever think that banal green weeds cut once a week to 1.5 inches tall were the measure of social stability? What if we had always planted basil in our front yards? Would there be so many strangers in the world if we had always planned on sharing vegetables with everyone who showed up on the sidewalk? Would there be red states and blue states? And yet we have to understand why grass became the norm for the suburbs. It's because our civilization produces weeds fundamentally that choke out the flowers in order to create a rug of conformity so everyone can feel safe and unthreatened by any of the other 1.5-inch tall pieces of grass. It's because we're afraid that we hurt people and even shoot people we made into boogeymen to feel less guilty about what our ancestors have done. And we can't undo what our ancestors did, but we can make gardens in our front yards and share our vegetables, not just with the people on our street, but with people on the other side of town where new friends may be waiting for us to find them. You call it a wedding banquet in your scripture, because that's what the air will feel like when we are living in the age of the Spirit. There will be only dancing, and every quarrel will be resolved with a chuckle because everyone will be getting ready for the big feast that we'll have where we gather with all of humanity to share our joy with each other and the fruits of our harvest, and performers of all kinds from every tribe and nation will stand to share their gifts, each bearing a different name for God, a different set of stories about their version of God. And there will be lots of aha moments, and Jesus will be in the middle of the room laughing with Buddha, if they're not actually the same person, and Kali will be there too, and Pachamama will be the version of you that I make a beeline for. And even though I've never tangoed before in all my life, I will tango with you, and my heart will soar to see in your eyes that you have always been my lover, and she has always channeled you, and somehow, despite all my foolishness, we have grown in our divinity together, and we could spend the entire time at the heavenly banquet looking in each other's eyes, but somehow I will also be able to laugh at all the jokes of every member of my hidden family at the same time. I will be able to play basketball with my son and go hiking with my other son, and all of life will be dancing, and the uncreated light will flood the world like it did at the Transfiguration, and everyone will feel like they just got born.